Freedom is not outside of you. Everyone talks about the freedom, but freedom from money stress, freedom from toxic relationships, freedom from expectations, freedom from the past. But the real freedom is not external, it's internal. Absolutely. The story what you're living inside of yourself. Because the only prison, most of us, me, once upon a time, was inside of that story. So, and that story becomes your identity. So you're not trapped by circumstances. You're trapped by the labels what you accepted to be your truth. And labels like this: I'm responsible one, I'm the strong one, I always get abandoned, I have to prove myself, I am not enough as yet, this is just how I am. Those are not facts. Those are interpretations, labels, what you put it on for yourself. And when we repeat enough of those interpretations, they become your personality. And that personality becomes your identity. And identity becomes a prison cell. Can we change this? The doors are never locked. So you just keep redecorating that prison cell. Adding affirmations, adding strategy, adding more effort, dancing to it. Asking yourself, when is the stars going to align to change? The freedom doesn't come from changing the outside and waiting for outside to change. Freedom comes from asking yourself this: who would I be without that story? Who would I be if you weren't, let's go say, the woman who had to survive? Who would I be if you weren't the woman who had to carry everyone? Who would you be if you weren't the woman who had to, who expects the disappointments? That's where the freedom lives. Not in a control of people, not in proving, not in complaining about your situation. The freedom is in awareness. The moment you see that your thoughts are not the truth, they're conditioning thoughts. That is the moment you stepped outside of that personal prison. And once when you see it, you can't not see it anymore. And that is the bridging part, which is called, in my world, liberation. And you get to liberate yourself. You get to choose what is going to be now. And you start creating your life. You start building yourself with the foundations of a healthy you. This is how becoming starts, but becoming cannot happen if the awareness did not happen within you first. To see how did the whole process happen, to see what happened and why, and sometimes at what age did it happen, so you could see it. That there is, it's always like this when I see it, is like you experience this in a different form in a childhood but similar, and then in the teenagers years, and we find out what happened, and is it predominantly masculine or is it the feminine? And this is where you sometimes then invite on your timeline people to suit your narrative, suit those labels, but then something happens. And that's what we call it awakening. That's where shaking of the ground happens. And then you start going like, okay, why is everything shaking? It's shaking because it's not strong foundation. It's not sustainable. It's time to break it up. And this is where you start calibrating, start building the new you. Because the limit doesn't exist except in our mind.